I hope you'll excuse the mess, but I'm trying to work out all of the details to the entryway. As you can see right here, I've been working on the side entryway, and then here is the entryway on the corner. This shouldn't really stick out, but it was the only way I could get that dormer, that kind of archway right there. Problem with all of this was that in order to get my windows like this 4 high, I couldn't do the snot build like I had done on the other round, and which I'll have to do up above. The problem is pinch points, and by pinch points, what I mean are right here, of course, there we go, right here where when you're working with these hinge pieces, if you use just regular bricks, they'll bind. But the snot build with a plate on the side or a tile on the side avoided most of that. So I pushed this out a little bit, tried using corner pieces right there to fill in that gap, and that created too much of a pinch point where I could not get this to sit on the angle and make the 45 degree I needed. So tried a few things. Took out the angle piece, and right here used the kind of the palisade brick, and that still created too much of a pinch point. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? And then I tried just using rounds like those, and that still created the pinch point. Problem with the rounds is when I started using my brain, I realized that because I have to have this 2x4 tile up here to hold the window offset a little bit, I'm going to have a pinch point either way. So what I realized is that since I have to keep all of this here, I was going to have to try to just eliminate this completely, have a big gap here, and see if this pinch point that I cannot eliminate because of this door has to stay there, whether I could work around it. And of course, this is just a big giant mess right here. Alright, I don't know if that's any better or not. But what I ended up doing is I eliminated the plate right here. Right in that groove, right there is the one that had to be eliminated. That worked, so this pinch point right here wasn't enough to throw off my angle. As you can see, I've got my brackets here to make sure I can keep my exact 45. But I didn't like having this huge, didn't like having this huge gap right here. So what I've thought about doing is taking the cheese plates, if you can kind of see right in there, taking the cheese plates and kind of filling it in. It's still going to leave gaps because horrible videoing today. I can't hold things and do it at the same time. You're going to have a gap in between each of the cheese plates. But over on the other building, you might remember right in the arch on the bottom, right above the gold door, which I'll show a close-up, that has kind of the same thing. Different style of brick because it's the 45 degree angle brick, but it still has that gap in order to allow for the stud to fall in between it. So this really isn't going to look that much different, and I still think it was overall the best option to get rid of that. So that maintained my spacing, and this video is probably going to be horribly out of focus, and I apologize for that. Working on this, that's pretty much ready to go. I do have another dilemma, and that's, as you may recall right here, this window on the Newhouse Building, I did it a few studs too short. And this window and this window on the second floor only of the Boston Building are supposed to be the same. So I thought, well, I can do them one, but then I've got to continue that up on this one only, and so that won't work. So I'm just going to have to modify it. This is what this side will look like, and I'm just going to have to go 2 here on the top, and this window underneath is just not going to match up. there's really no way to do it without making this building bigger, and I don't want to do that because then they won't match. Anyways, stay tuned as I work out some more of the kinks, and we'll see you next time.